Welcome to this Tuesday's edition of Bearcats Daily. As always, I'm your host, Blake Thornton. I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to be going over a couple things today. They did want to expand the college football playoff again, which, if you're like me, you're rolling your eyes at and wondering when does it ever stop. We're going to go over our secondary and the defense a little bit, some new guys coming in to go with some veteran of the system guys as well. And then we're going to kind of close the show moving forward with a little buy or sell. And if you're a fan of ESPN First Take, you're going to kind of know what I'm talking about. For the rest of you, if you've never seen it, I think you'll like this. It's an interesting segment, kind of rapid fire. We're just going to go over things basically that people are going to. I have ideas written down from some of our viewers, and we're just going to basically see if we're buying into it or if we're selling that as just not happening. So we'll move into this as we go to close out the shows moving forward. But currently, the NCAA is in talks of expanding the college football playoffs. So we all know right now they have 12 teams. 12 teams in the college football playoffs, which I am not even a fan of that already. Four, I thought, was a decent amount. Top four teams are getting a chance to play for the college football championship. UC made that in 2021. So or 2022, excuse me. My dates get mixed up because of COVID. That whole thing gets a little screwy. However, right now, the power currently sits with the Big Ten and the SEC. They have, in general, the main decision power when it comes to the college football playoff. The the Big Ten and the SEC. Now, Greg Sankey is one of the guys who is in charge of this. He's the SEC commissioner, and he wants to move it to 16 teams. Now, the ACC and Big 10 and Big 12 are all in favor of moving to a 24-team format. SEC wants 16. I can't say I'm a fan of any of them, to be honest with you. Some kind of pros and cons with this idea of moving or adding teams or not adding teams. Here are my cons, and these are the biggest things of why I'm not a fan of this. It's really going to make regular season games irrelevant at this point. We're already approaching that line of games if they matter at the end of the season or not. And I'm going to give an example. Ohio State, Michigan. The game happens on, Saturday morning at noon. Usually it's to determine the Big Ten championship matchup. Ideally, some years it's not, but that's typically the norm. And it has college football playoff, BCS ball, all the things, implications with this game. But now with the expansion, it already has limited that game and other rivalry games kind of down. Because it's almost like, okay, we both have 0 losses. Now we have 1. It's really irrelevant. Or if you're on the bubble, if you each have 1 loss and now you get that second loss team, it's really hard to make the college football playoffs. Now, if you lose and if Michigan is a 2-loss team, they beat Ohio State. Ohio State's the team, they're like, game doesn't really matter. We already made the playoffs. There's 24 teams. How are we going to get left out? There really is not any reason to expand the playoffs except for one thing, and this is the only pro that I personally could come up with: more money for more colleges. That's all this is about making money. We can put more teams in the playoffs. That's more TV coverage because we're going to have a longer season now. We're going to have more games and more teams, so we all get more money. That's all this is about. This is not about the players. This is not about the teams. It's about making money for the school, plain and simple. And I got to say, it's disgusting. We have completely lost college sports at this point, in my mind. This is strictly about making money. This is not about, these teams deserve to get in too. I'm sorry. Not everyone deserves to be somewhere. Oh, you went undefeated in the Big East or, the Mountain West? Good for you. You went undefeated. You're supposed to. Everything plays in the same. We saw it with UC against Georgia and Alabama. Now, they should have beat Georgia in the Peach Bowl. No doubt about it. Our play calling failed us in that game. Play calling failed us, cost us the game against Georgia. We should have beat Georgia. Alabama, they were the better team on that day. Alabama is, they're just bigger guys, stronger guys, faster. There's not a lot you can say about that. Bama beat us in the college football playoff. I don't think UC played bad. I was actually very proud of how they played. I think we just saw the difference between a Power 4 conference team and a Group of 5 conference team at that time. It is what it is. But you still should not be adding more teams into this playoff. And everyone points at like teams like Florida State, UCF, even put up a national championship banner in their stadium when they were left out of the college football playoffs. I'm glad every team has this belief, but as a former player, as a coach, you have to look and be honest with yourselves. Any team can beat anybody on a given day. I'm not saying that, but let's be realistic when it comes to college football. Boise State's never beating Alabama or Ohio State or Michigan or Miami, Florida or Indiana or Notre Dame. Maybe 99 times out of 100 they lose and they find that one and say, well, they still had that one shot. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're doing this strictly to make players play more games so the schools can make more money. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's really a shame to see. So hopefully they don't keep extending it. But as we all know with the way things work around here, if it makes them money, they're going to do it anyway. So what are you going to do? But we're going to flip over to UC football. We're going to focus on our defensive secondary a little bit. Haven't really talked about these guys much. Again, this was another area of our team that was hurt kind of bad with the transfer portal. We do have two guys that are coming back that are going to lead this secondary. One is a safety, one is a quarterback. Daniel James, returning cornerback, Xavier Starks, returning safety. Now, both those names should be pretty familiar to you. They're pretty active on our defense. Solid guys, very quick. I do like the fact that they are able to go up and deflect passes. They're good at getting hands on the ball, and I think that is a great thing when you look at this defense, because in the Big 12, we see a lot of passing. Not a lot of ground and pound as much as you see in like the SEC, which is kind of going away, but the Big 10, a lot of run game there. Big 12, though, a lot of passing. So it's good to see these guys getting hands on the ball, and they're very good with their footwork. They don't get beat deep much unless there's a blown coverage and miscommunication, which it's going to happen, but I like both of them. I think they're going to be a great anchor for that defensive secondary. Now, we have two guys coming in I wanted to kind of point out a little bit for you. First one is Ty Goodwill. He's a safety. He's coming out of South Alabama. He played 2 seasons there. He had 3 starts and then played in a total of 10 games. Now, you may be wondering, okay, there's not a lot there if he's only played 10 games with 3 starts. You're right. But a lot of younger guys don't necessarily get a lot of snaps. Is that always the case? No, there are guys that can come in, true freshmen that are going to get the job done. So I'm not saying that, but last season alone, 34 total tackles, 18 were solo, and he had 7 passes deflected. The tackles don't necessarily bother me. And here's why. In my perspective on defense, and this can change depending on you, I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Make sure you comment your thoughts on this situation. Safeties shouldn't be making too many tackles, not solo tackles anyway. If a safety's making a solo tackle, usually it's saving a touchdown or they were in coverage and had to come up and make a tackle on a guy. They didn't get there in time. The passes deflected is what I'm looking at. Our guys are getting their hands on the ball and getting them away from the receivers. I like seeing that. The tackles will come, not extremely worried about it. So, he's young. He's only got 2 seasons. He's a little raw, but that experience of playing behind Starks, especially Starks being another safety, I really like it. So it'll be an interesting matchup as time goes to see how they develop through camp and into the regular season. So we'll revisit him as time goes. Another gentleman coming in is KK Meyer. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. It's Meier. I hope it's Meyer. You guys can correct me, of course. He's a cornerback. He played 2 seasons at UTSA, which I believe is the University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners. I should have checked that. My apologies. But he has averaged in his 2 seasons there 26 total tackles and 4 passes deflected per game. Now, again, they don't jump off at the page at you in terms of stats. However, the guy's been in a couple different teams. He's played it for Nevada, UTSA, and now obviously he's going to be here at UC. So I don't have any issue with any of these guys at all coming in. But this is something they're going to have to develop. They're going to have to build on. It's just going to be one of those things that we have to allow our coaches to coach. These aren't 5-star recruits coming in, and that's okay. We just have to develop them, and that's where the coaching comes in. And Nate Woody and his staff and all the position coaches, they've got to get these guys up to speed. And I think they can do that, so I'm not sweating that. I'm not worried. It'll just be an interesting dynamic for them to come in. Now, to close us out, we are going to go into our buy and sell. And the first one comes to us from Big Head Ice Cream. Okay, good username. I like it. All right. Big Head Ice Cream, buy or sell topic for today. The Big 12 is a minimum 10 years out from a national championship. Buy or sell? I got to be honest with you, I'm buying that. I don't, nothing at the top of my head says any team in the Big 12 is a year to 5 years away from winning a national championship. If they expand the college football playoff, is there a chance their matchups are good and some bigger teams get knocked out and there's ways for them to kind of backdoor to get a championship opportunity? Sure. But I'm buying that. I just think the talent difference between an SEC and a Big Ten, I'll throw ACC in there, although they've really digressed over the years in terms of football. Yeah, so I got to be honest there. I don't think we're, even for UC, I'd love to see them win a national championship. We all would. But I'm buying that the Big 12 as a whole is 10 years out from winning a national championship. If we're wrong, but I'm definitely buying that. Our second one, buy or sell, take away clock stoppages for a first down completely. Buy or sell? Again, I think I have to buy this. I like the idea of getting rid of it. I know they changed it to where it only happens in the final couple minutes of the halves now, but that's still, these are crucial game situations and you're getting extra clock stoppages for teams to work off of. I'm not a fan of that. College is supposed to be getting guys ready for the next level, so why are we doing things that are not really preparing them? We're making the game easier. You have to be able to think on your feet and move fast. So I'm buying this. I would like to see it completely gone. A clock stoppage only when the ball goes out of bounds. Otherwise, you get a first down, great. Get back up to the line and spike it or do what you got to do. And for our last one, buy or sell. Switch all college kickoffs to NFL rules and guidelines to follow the league. Now, I know I said these guys are supposed to be preparing for NFL, so obviously you want the rules similar. I'm actually selling this. I am not on board with switching the kickoffs, and here's why. You are going to switching the kickoffs does force these guys to no longer just say, hey, how hard can I kick this and kick it out the back of the end zone? I can't say that there are enough kickers in NCAA that can control their kicks well enough to land in the landing zone every single time, and have everything work out like it does in the NFL. I don't think the special teams are the problem. I really look at it as a kicking aspect. I don't think the kickers are consistent enough to be able to do that style of kickoff. That's just my opinion. I'm selling on that. There's no need to switch it. I don't think these guys have the ability to do that. And again, that is strictly my own personal thought process on it from watching college football and NFL. There are 32 kickers in the NFL. There's 100 and something kickers in college. Not every one of them is, going to be on a professional team and, stuff like that. So I'm selling switching kickoffs to NFL rules. I think that doing the traditional style kickoff is good. I like the energy. I like that style of kickoff more than what they've switched to in the NFL. So, it's no shame on it or anything like that. It's just, I just happen to like the traditional better. But humans are all different. None of us like change. So who knows? Some people may like it. Some people may not. In terms of the buy or sell, love to hear everyone's thoughts on opinions on that. If you're buying or selling any of those, please put those in the comments. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button for us. Let's, grow the channel, get more people in. Special thank you to Fan Arch right above here for making this happen. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them. In the meantime, we'll catch you on the next show. Appreciate you joining.